Hello, everybody.
Welcome to this channel, I don't know.
This is ep.4-Foreign, and welcome back to some more Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Here with me I have...
50% more accent.
And in
This is Chris the Master 4, by the way.
Yep, and in the last episode we had started off the Phoenix
trial.
Wright, the Phoenix Wright portion of the prologue.
We started the trial, Rob.
Yeah. And we met the witness Johnny Smiles, who was completely useless.
He is an asshole and kind of an idiot.
Yep. And now that we are finally getting serious about this trial, it's time to bring in the second witness.
Time to bring in the next witness, yes.
So, if you like what you see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me and Chris. If you haven't already, click the bells, yada yada, and share with your friends so they can join in on this adventure.
Investigation. What the fuck happened?
I don't know, but that's gonna be fun to listen back to.
Oh, it was on the wrong one. I'm sorry.
There's a witness brother. And of course, Your Honor, bailiff, please bring her in. Here we go.
Time for good character design.
Time for hips.
Time for hips.
Witness, my
name is Olivia Raldente.
I am foreign.
I had an accent.
Of the Mediterranean Sea carry the spicy scent of a seafood stew. A hot Sicilian stew that soothes the hearts of sailors braving the raging waters.
You know, now that I'm looking at her a bit better, her hair looks like seaweed.
Yep. I was just thinking that.
I was thinking to myself, like, oh, I like the green hair, but now that I look closely, it just looks like seaweed.
Blessed be the Sicilian cuisine and il nostro mare.
Because foreign!
Yes, Miss Al Dente is employed as a cook on the freighter where the crime happened. A cook? That's interesting attire you wear, Miss Al Dente. This is my work outfit. It gets very hot in the kitchen, you know.
Why is the judge getting aroused by this?
I'm not. You can't see my dick. You can't prove anything.
You have a giant bench. Of course you're probably hiding something.
You can't prove anything.
But you're not proving otherwise.
I'm the judge. I don't have to prove shit. It will be a pleasant change after that alcoholic guard. He got up my nose.
It's hot, too.
Yeah.
Nice to see the judge is remaining impartial.
Miss Al Dente discovered the defendant in the cargo hold when she went for supplies.
Found out a spella? That would make her the crew member that Johnny saw fighting with Estella.
That's just right, Mr. Wright. Miss Al Dente was the first person to discover the intruder. But she is the victim of assault. It was a good part. How cool.
And
If only,
not a single concussion on her.
if only I had my precious kitchen knife with me at the time.
Oh,
I'd have shown her my exceptional cutting skill. Oh God, this is hard enough.
With that knife, sorry, maybe with that knife I might also have a bathroom to stab her in.
Nick, look at her. She's an expert potato peeler. You'd better watch out around her.
That's a skill. I'll keep that in mind.
It probably is.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but is it really one worth mentioning in a criminal investigation?
Look, she's a cook. She has to have a personality.
Look, she has hips and is foreign. That's all we need.
She also has to have an idol animation. Yeah. So. Witness, we have now heard your testimony. Describe to us what happened in the cargo hold.
Certamente, gladly.
This was hard enough the first time.
I mean, you do the voice pretty well, Rob.
Yeah. Except when I don't know words.
I went to check the cargo hold. I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was
The
past
cargo hold.
the cargo hold. I'm sorry, I have to pronounce my C's.
Pronunciation is key. You took choir for a long time.
Fuck that. Fuck her. It was past 10 p.m. And I found that girl hiding and clutching one of them bizarro toys. She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed the pipe. She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge, but she hit me on the head. I blacked out for a couple minutes.
I did not follow the words of Piccolo.
According to the medical report, you suffered a laceration to your head, correct?
It's covered by the chef hat, so you can't see it now. But when I chop up veggies, it hurts in the rhythm of the strikes. Chop, chop, chop.
You seem to be very normal for getting bludgeoned with a pipe on the head.
That was terrible, Mr. Dante.
Hey, it knocked the accent into me, okay? I didn't used to sound like this. I should have been more careful, but she looked like a little piccolo girl.
Olivia is much taller than Espella. Yeah, Espella's about... you!
The spell is not about me, Rob. The spell is about the same size as you.
I may be short, but I'm well proportioned, and that's what matters.
Because you're not wrong.
Well, I mean, you will be in a couple years.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's well proportioned. It's more like, I don't know the right word, but sure, well proportioned.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to present...
She gets her sister's perks.
The decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt. I'm not going to say what just popped in my head.
Oh, really, Rob?
This is a photograph of the defendant's fingerprints on the steel pipe. As you can see, the fingerprints are very clear that they were left by the assailant. They have already been examined and found to be those of the defendant. Huh. Well, that's what of that. It's undoubtedly decisive evidence.
What? Oh, fuck. Fingerprints on the weapon are spells?
Just to put your inquisitive mind at peace, Mr. Wright, there were no other fingerprints. The photograph tell me unprepared evidence. Have I not warned you, Mr. Wright? Further examination is but a waste of time. Nick, what do we do now?
He says it's a waste of time, but I can do it anyway.
This evidence clearly points to Espella.
For pleading that Espella's not guilty. And if she's innocent, then this witness is lying. And all we need to do is expose that lie. Gotta think straight and focus on finding the truth.
The friends may now cross-examine the witness. This one wasn't straight up, was it?
God, she's got nice hips.
Nick, I swear to God, I will punch you.
How are you hearing my inner thoughts?
It's like, I know the script. And that's not in the script.
Hold it! Do you remember the moment you were hit?
Sort of. It was dark, so I'm not exactly sure how it happened. See, I'm clever with my fingers, but not that good at judging steel pipes, so I got it. There we go.
And you're positive there was no one else at the crime scene?
Yep. Ah, that cute guard suddenly walked in sort of nonchalantly. Now that I think about it. The door suddenly opened and I turned towards it. That must be when I got it, so it was his fault.
What?
Oh, I'll have my revenge. They say that my special spice blend is too strong for human consumption.
What, you're using ghost peppers or California Reapers?
I don't think you will ever be able to taste chocolate afterwards.
He says what's scary. Ooh, scary!
Johnny said he saw the moment Olivia was hit.
Yeah, and he didn't seem to... He didn't see anyone else in the room either.
So when I came to, the guard had already captured that girl.
Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her testimony. Still,
Huh? Got any ideas, Nick?
this one piece of evidence has been on my mind. It's not something easy to see, but it feels out of place.
I didn't notice anything. I'd better take a second look at the court record.
I've got nothing concrete. Just a hunch to go on, which is what I usually do anyway. But should I present that?
Was it straight up? I thought we talked about what was wrong with it before presenting the evidence.
Well, we were we were discussing this a lot, I think, on the first playthrough anyway. Because we didn't remember how it was supposed to go.
Hiding and clutching. She may have. So I tried to stop her.
Wait a minute. I think I remember what we need to present. Look through again.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We're gonna press these two.
I remember what we need to present, but I just don't remember the statement.
Yeah, I know what we need to present too.
The defendant tried to escape?
She had nowhere to run though, because she was at the far end of the room. I'm really good at catching chickens that try to run from the knife, so I caught her rapidamente.
And when you caught her, things took a violent turn.
Yeah, she was so smart.
Crashing again.
Oh boy.
You know, so you wouldn't think that she had it in her. There was a steel pipe propped against the wall right next to her.
Was it the pipe from this picture?
Yeah, she picked it up and held it in both hands. And then...
Hold it!
You're sure it was the defendant that swung the pipe at you? I think it's this one.
Yeah. We know it was a defendant because her fingerprints were found on... Yeah, were found on the weapon. As you can see, she held the pipe with both hands, just as the witness stated.
I mean, that's true. Estella's fingerprints. That's some hard evidence, but then again...
What is it, Nick?
There's something about those...
Oh god.
Oh god, everything went black! Thoughts. I still have my thoughts at least.
Nick, snap out of it.
Oh hi. There's something about those fingerprints though.
Oh, it sounds like you're onto something, Nick.
Don't get too excited. It's just a hunch. These fingerprints. They don't look quite right to me for some reason. Spell swung this pipe while holding it in both hands.
In any case, pray tell us what happened after the defendant took a swing at you. I already did that. I already did that, you blind, you deaf fuck.
You blind fuck.
Objection!
You're claiming that the defendant swung the pipe at you. But that's impossible. Girl.
Why do you say that, sweetie?
I had a stupid thought. The defendant's fingerprint
Fingerprint.
were found on the pipe. However, there is a contradiction here.
There isn't a contradiction here.
There's no contradiction here. I'm wasting all of your guys' time. Moving on.
We're getting the penalty for that, Mr. Wright. A contradiction? Impossible! What's a contradiction? It's most interesting. Well done, the defense will explain it.
I like how Flinch is trying to channel the supreme Kai of time.
Yeah. What in the photo of the fingerprint contradicts the testimony?
That's the position. That's what I meant to say, not location.
No, because you got that wrong last time.
I know. I even meant to say position this time, but then my brain's like, oh no, it's location. It is the position of the fingerprints, Your Honor.
Oh?
Nah, he's just Scooby. According to the witness testimony, the defendant held the pipe like this. In order to hit the witness on the head, she raised the pipe like so.
That is precisely what she did.
And then she struck from above. But here's the problem. Think about the fingerprints that she would have left had she done just that.
What are you getting at, Mr. Wright?
Look closely at the way I'm holding the pipe. In this situation, the fingerprints would look like this. The thumb is above the other fingers.
Indeed, there's no doubt about it.
Now take a look at the fingerprints that were actually left on the pipe. Zoom.
Goodness, the thumb, it's below the other fingers. What?
That's right. Miss Al Dente,
What is it?
had the defendant attacked you as you described, the fingerprints would have been on the other way around, which means something's not right with your testimony!
Ah!
Ugh.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
Border! What's the meaning of that? The fingerprint was submitted as suspicious evidence. How come the contradiction was not brought to light before? No!
Miss Al Dente, what do you have to say about this? Man, I remember those people that got nervous juggling tics.
No, it's fine.
Excuse me, Miss Al Dente?
Know how to bring out the full sweetness of a sweet potato.
Huh?
You use a pinch of salt. Interesting, right? You use the salt to make something taste sweeter.
I'm not following.
I remember it now. It was the other way around, not as you'd expected.
Of course.
I'm sorry, I got a bit confused. You normally hold a pipe like that. But she's so small. But she's so small and the pipe is heavy. She held it the other way around.
It doesn't work that way, lady!
Not like, where do we keep getting this pipe?
Yeah. It's passed around the pipe day, I guess.
Oh my.
Ugh.
That can be thought of in
I'm
two.
not even in this game.
Oh hey, what am I doing here? Get the fuck out, Nagito.
Get the flying fuck out of here, Nagito.
Oh, okay.
And what was it to spare?
She held it in this way.
Objection!
You're full of shit, my lady.
Yeah, you're full of shit, my lord. But you testified that she fiercely swung the pipe at you.
She tackled her with the pipe.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I got confused. Olivia, sorry, okay?
How could you mistake the way she held the pipe if it was right in front of you?
Oh, why don't you go fry an egg? What does it matter if she held it in one way or another?
Because it doesn't make sense!
You wouldn't call it a slightly salted sweet potato a salty potato, because it's still sweet potato no matter what you add to it.
The witness probably has a point, doesn't she, Mr. Wright?
There was lights!
All of the lights...
Oh my god.
The defendant attacked the witness, holding the pipe backhanded.
He's full of shit.
It seems a bit unnatural, but it does make sense, I suppose.
Indeed it does, Your Honor. There is no problem with this evidence after all.
Does the defendant agree?
I agree there are no problems with this evidence. We'll be one step away from losing this case. There's gotta be a contradiction here somewhere in that fishy testimony. Did Stella hit Olivia with a pipe backhanded? Nope.
Or go frying egg, you stupid attorney.
Well, Miss Al Dente, you already said that. Also, I'm afraid that you're in a pickle now.
No, I'm in the courtroom.
Just go on, my friend, please. I'm just scraping for some kind of comedy here.
I don't really see why. You suck.
Adding a pack of lies to a testimony can turn things very sour for a witness.
Come on, it seems the defense is prepared to prove its point. Is there a contradiction in this witness's testimony?
Of course there is, bitch! Correct, Your Honor. I won't know until I try.
The defense will now present evidence to the court. The evidence of contradicting the assertion that the defendant had
I think it
Echoes of the mayor in the cave.
I think it was the medical report, right? Because she got hit on the back of the head.
Yes.
Remember, we fucked this up last time. We actually fucked this up a couple of times. Yep, got it.
So, Dante, you were previously
Miss Al Dente,
previously testified.
you previously testified.
And to which I was very confused why you were testifying that. But mostly that you were using that hat to cover the wound you received in the assault. No, yeah, it's on the front of her head.
Oh god, this indigestion is killing me.
That's why I have water.
I'm drinking water. It's normal for senoritas to cover up things they don't want others to see.
That's not all. You also described the defendant as little, if you recall. That is to say, Miss Cantabella, at the very least, is shorter than you.
I've grown tall and healthy thanks to the wonderful Mediterranean sunshine.
Let me ask you then. How did a girl shorter than you, holding a heavy pipe backhanded, manage to land a blow to the back of your head? I'd say it is impossible.
The
The fingerprints on this weapon show that the defendant held it backhanded. But even if she didn't,
hadn't.
or if she hadn't, it's highly unlikely she would turn able to hit Miss Aldentine's head like that. Music.
Border, I don't know how border to the front better guy.
Even if it was highly unlikely, it cannot be proven that it was impossible. Miss Cantabella's fingerprints were found on the pipe, Your Honor. Nothing can change that fact. It was the defendant who held the weapon.
Huh. But it's so. There's a defense of living comments.
Can't deny that. Clear that Estella didn't hold that, or did hold that pipe.
She held it like this, right?
And now Maya has that pipe.
Why would she do
What
that?
are you gonna do with that pipe?
It'd be hard to hit anyone like this.
Hold it like that. Looks as if...
The court recommended the validity of the prosecution's objection. Fingerprints on the weapon prove that it was used by the defendant.
Objection!
The defendant's fingerprints may be on the pipe, however...
Mr. Wright, are you okay? But you keep like staring at me, trying to say something, but I can't read your thoughts, man.
Who's to say I was thinking it, Your Honor?
I don't know, the echo effect?
The defendant's fingerprints may be on the pipe, however... That doesn't prove that she had anyone with it!
Nonsense. What else would she pick up the steel pipe for?
Objection!
Oh, I think I've got a pretty good idea.
Well then, there's virtually a limit on that idea. What?
What is that noise? What I say next will turn this trial around.
Turn the case around.
Yes. The defendant's fingerprints were left on the weapon because she tried to defend herself. Well, naturally. She held the pipe in both hands when she stopped it from coming down on her head.
But stop it! With both hands. That's right, like this. Oh shit.
Please take another look at this photo. These are not the fingerprints of an assailant, but rather the fingerprints of a victim who was defending herself. Which brings us to the conclusion that Miss Cantabella didn't attack the witness. She was in fact the victim desperately trying to defend herself.
This cannot be.
And if Miss Cantabella was a victim, who was the real assailant? There's only one person who could have done it. The only other person at the crime scene.
Johnny Smiles.
Yeah, exactly. What? Yeah, no, it just like cuts to Johnny.
Wait, what?
It was Olivia al dente. It was you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, Rob, I think you need to go.
Border! If I could have order the court will be burned. Be quiet, all of you! You just don't quite quit, do you?
The very wiggly eel.
A lousy lawyer like you should get the job. How about I show you my knife up close? Have you lost your mind, Mr. Wright? The victim is not the victim, not the victim.
Flinch, I think you're just going insane right now.
That might be true, but the witness is not the victim. It is the victim.
Good job, Rob.
There are no fingerprints other than the defendant's on the weapon.
Probably because she's wearing fucking gloves.
No, that's not how this works.
Look at the witness's outfit. Yeah, she's wearing gloves. That's why she left no fingerprints.
Get out there, you stupid eel!
No!
Lord me, I swear to God!
Die!
Lord me, I swear to God! Yeah!
No, Lord.
You prickly sea urchin!
But you cannot be sure she was wearing gloves that night.
The witnesses called her work outfit, so she must have been wearing it when she went to check supplies.
You, you devious lawyer, slippery as an eel. It was me because I had gloves on, as if it was only me wearing gloves.
She's the only one in the courtroom wearing gloves.
I know who she's trying to talk about.
Of course, because we've seen this before. There was that guy, the guard. He was wearing gloves too.
Well, Rob, I forgot about that part actually.
Oh, was that the previous witness? No, that's right. The gloves are part of the guard's uniform by regulation.
See, that the guard Johnny. He was wearing gloves that night too.
Huh. What do you say to that, Mr. Wright?
She's full of shit, my judge.
Since you're claiming the assignment is the person with gloves on, would that make the broader subject as well?
Could Johnny be a culprit now? Johnny Smiles is not the culprit.
Why not? Anyone with gloves could have done it. Didn't you just say that?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Piece of shit.
However, it does seem plausible that the guard could have done it. He was wearing gloves after all.
I'm afraid that's impossible, Your Honor, and I have proof.
You do?
Fascinating. Let's see this proof, if you really have it. Please enlighten us as to why Smiles cannot be the culprit. Provide the proof.
Mr. Smiles is, to put it nicely, who you may call a free spirit. There is no guarantee he would follow the rules and wear his full uniform. And this is evidence proves that he did not wear his gloves.
Well, wait, don't throw that filthy torch at me.
But don't please let the talk about this evidence.
No, Your Honor. This chocolate is the evidence.
What?
Mr. Smiles was snacking on a chocolate bar during his patrol. That's why his flashlight is in this sorry state. And covered in his chocolatey fingerprints. Therefore, we know that he didn't wear gloves when patrolling the ship that night. Rule-breaking, chocolate-loving Johnny Smiles was not the culprit!
What? That's ridiculous! It's too silly!
You're silly.
Your Honor, the defense has merely pointed out a possibility. To call this witness a criminal without actual evidence against her is preposterous.
Objection.
The prosecution's duty is to clear what doubts there may be regarding the defendant's guilt. And I have demonstrated that there is, at least the very least, the possibility that the witness is not telling the truth.
At the very least, Espella Cantabella is not innocent. As corroborated by the PC Badger, that toy that she attempted to steal. Ah!
What is that? Did Olivia just freeze for a second? Oh.
But wait, friends, when did the court about the toy, this new piece of evidence?
This is the stuffed toy the defendant tried to steal that night.
Huh. One of which legs would appear to be missing, the poor thing.
This mishap befell PC Badger as the witness and the defendant were fighting. The captain of the freighter reported the damage after the defendant's arrest.
Do the thing, Rob.
Huh? What?
Do the thing, Rob.
Do what thing?
The speaking.
Oh, okay. Alright. So this is the stuffed animal Olivia snatched from Espella.
But sweet, the court would like to hear the witness's testimony regarding this evidence.
Witness, your testimony.
Excuse me, witness, you have been asked to testify.
I'm so very sorry. I got a little upset from all these accusations. I'm not used to this, to being called a liar.
Ah, yes, it's only natural. Don't worry about it, it's all that slimy attorney's fault. But why do I feel like an eel on a chopping board? The witness will now testify. Tell us how you retrieved this toy from the defendant.
Gladly. Oh, in nostro mare.
I wonder what she's saying, I don't get it. Whatever she said, I'll make sure it's the last time she says it in court.
I wrested this toy back from that thief and gave it to the police. When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away with our precious cargo. Naturalmente, I had to get that toy back from her first. Its leg got ripped off though. But there's no way I could have attacked her with the pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand. I don't remember much about when I was it, but I got the toy back at least.
I see. What a commendable attitude done to explain to protect the cargo.
I may not be a security guard, but I'll do what it takes for the sake of our ship.
It didn't do much good in the end. This PC Badger is way too damaged to be sold.
These lovely little toys are made at a workshop in London. We transported them down the River Thames, distributing them to children as we go.
Didn't she call them bizarro toys earlier? And now suddenly they're cute? And what about the fingerprint on the toy? It is a soft toy after all, so no usable fingerprints were found. Puh. Well, that is unfortunate. Regardless, the court accepted it into evidence. The defense will now cross-examine the witness. Let's see if I remember what we gotta do.
I wrested this toy back from that thief and gave it
To the police. When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away. Naturalmente, I had to get that toy back from her first. There was no way I could have attacked her with a pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand. I don't remember much about it. I wrested this toy back from that thief and gave it to the police. I don't think so, because the tag is still on it.
Objection!
Miss Al Dente, I would like to confirm just one thing. The stuffed animal you submitted to the police, is this the one?
Yeah, that's the one. No doubt about it.
I'm sorry, but if that's the case, things simply don't add up. What doesn't add up?
If it's about the leg, it's that girl's fault. It got ripped because she wouldn't let go.
The problem is not something that's missing from this stuffed toy. On the contrary, it's something that shouldn't be there in the first place.
Something that shouldn't be there.
And that is, of course, this item. This is the final piece of evidence received from the guard, Mr. Smiles. When I seized the girl at the crime scene, she was clasping this in her hand. She didn't even seem to notice. But what would that bring? It would appear to be a PC Bank's tag, Your Honor. Strange, isn't it? Something was definitely ripped off this plushie. But it wasn't its leg. It was the tag. You noticed it too, didn't you, Miss Al Dente? If this is the stuffed animal that Miss Cantabella was holding when you found her, then why is their tag still on it?
Yeah!
Order. Where's the...
Hey, you tasteless looking prosecutor over there.
Yes?
What's this about the tag? You didn't tell me anything about that.
If you'll please calm down. It's no use blaming the prosecutor. He didn't even know about this tag existed. Witness, I had not been informed of such evidence. If you had this in your possession, why didn't you hand it over to the police? Sorry, Mr. Prosecutor. I am an expert at what I do. And my expert advice to myself was that I'd better keep this as my secret weapon. So I waited for the right moment to single-handedly settle this trial. For better or for worse, the tag's existence had only come recently to light. Neither the prosecution nor you, Your Honor, knew about it before this trial.
Yeah.
But then, why is there a tag on this toy? How come this toy has a tag?
The answer is simple. There's a tag on the stuffed animal because there's only one possibility.
Miss Al Dente, before handing the plushie into the police, you swapped it for another.
Yeah. Listen to yourself. Why would I even do something like that? Ridiculous. And that's right. That tag must be a fake.
A fake? Why would you think that?
The chocolate freak must be trying to frame me. That's what it is.
Objection.
Mr. Smiles has no motive to do something like that.
Objection.
No motive? It doesn't require much thinking to come up with one. He wanted attention.
Yes, what he said. The guard lied to show off, and that's all there is to it.
Did Johnny produce bogus evidence to draw attention to himself? Nope. It's an interesting theory, but it's impossible.
And how do you know? I'll dice you like an onion.
Anyway. Was Mr. Smiles lying? Here's an easy way to find out.
What?
How do you plan to check it? By checking the fingerprints, of course. Fingerprints? Ah! According to Mr. Smiles' testimony, when he sees Miss Cantabella, she was holding the tag in her hand. Therefore, her fingerprints should be on that tag.
Yeah!
Berta, how does evidence investigate immediately?
That was awesome, Nick. We've almost got her now.
Mr. Flinch, I have a question for you.
What is it?
When you searched the crime scene, did you find a toy without a tag? Huh. Well, Mr. Flinch, did you?
No. We, considering the circumstances, it did not seem necessary to investigate quite so thoroughly. But at the very least, I can tell you that all toys in the crates had tags on.
Excuse me, Your Honor. What is it, Mr. Wright? It appears no stuffed animal was found without a tag. Which means that it may still be hidden at the crime scene. Your Honor, the defense requests that the ship be searched thoroughly this time. Send a forensics team there immediately. We're requesting another search? What? Surely you can't be serious. Whether the toy was swapped or not, it doesn't matter in the least. They are all the same. Any of them will do just fine. That is exactly why it's important. All these plushies are the same. There's no need to swap one for another. And yet... why is the witness getting so worked up about it? That's just... I had a feeling that there was something odd about this case. A stolen stuffed animal, and an assault connected to it. There had to be more to it. There had to be another crime under the surface. Nick! This is it. What should I do? Your Honor, the defense insists on a search. Should a plushie without a tag be found on the ship, then there's a strong possibility that this case will be resolved.
Objection!
The prosecution does not... Where'd you get that fish?
You can't! No, you can't search it again! You just can't!
What was? Miss Al Dente, why did you swap the stuffed animal? And why are you so afraid of having the ship searched? PC Badger holds all the answers. But, say, Mr. Wright, could it be that you already know the reason behind the swap? Of course, I don't have any definitive proof. But, when it comes to pointing out a possibility, I might have something. Huh. Well then, let's see some evidence. Do we have any evidence that would explain why Miss Al Dente is against the search? Yep. And it is right here.
Take that!
There's a certain article in this newspaper. Elusive jewel thieves at large in London. Scotland Yard on red alert. Oh, that's robbery. I've heard about it, of course. Two of the thieves robbed a jewelry shop and made away with about 50 pieces of jewelry. Many extremely valuable stones were stolen as well. Scotland Yard is under great pressure to find them. All packages sent out from London are being scrutinized by the police. And what does this have to do with our case? Nothing. I beg to differ. The jewel theft took place in London. And that's where our freighter picked up its cargo. London? It can't be, witness! That night, you discovered the defendant in the cargo hold. She was holding one of the plushies. You knew you had to get it back. You had to get it back at all costs. But why go so far for a mere plushie? There is only one possible reason. You couldn't afford to have the police discover what was inside of it. You got fish slapped. Womp womp. We have just received a report from the team investigating the crime scene. The toy was hidden beneath a storage unit in a pipe. The toy has been cut open and the contents examined. And this was found inside. A pink diamond worth approximately 100 million pounds. 100,000 pounds. Oh, I can do numbers so well. We have also received a report from the crime lab. The defendant's fingerprints have been found on the tag. Do you have anything to say, Miss Al Dente? I lost, didn't I? So, you are... Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of the jewel thieves. My role was to get the loot out of London. The police never checked the regular shipments from that workshop. We decided to take advantage of that blind spot. Indeed, the regular direct delivery service has been overlooked by the police. Possibly because that workshop produces the very mascots representing the police. The other crew had nothing to do with it. I used their ship, that's all. It was you who hid the jewels inside the plushies. There was one jewel in each toy. I was carrying them away one by one. When did it happen to pick one of those toys up?
I had my heart stand still when I saw that girl in the cargo hold. Whenever I was free, I stood guard in front of that room, and yet she got in somehow. So there she was in the room with the alien loot, one of the toys in her hand.
So how did Isabella get in there?
I don't know if she was trying to steal the toy or what, but I just had to get it back from her, no matter the cost. Then I ended in a different toy. I made it look like it was ripped in the fight. It would have been over for me if the police had found any of the jewels.
But, wait. Who was it in the end? Who hit Olivia? Oh, I almost forgot about that.
At first, I thought it must have been that little girl that hit me. But now I don't know.
You don't know?
No one else was supposed to be in that room. But what if there was someone in the shadows? Some mischievous person hidden in the darkness.
This is a most unusual case. But cannot be said that all the mysteries have been resolved. But it's become clear that Miss Cantabella is innocent. Well then, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
It would seem that I owe you thanks for helping us see the truth.
No need to thank me, Your Honor. I was just doing my job. Like I always do. Is that really the smartest thing you could come up with?
But Mr. Flint,
Yes, Your Honor.
this trial was part of the legal rules of the Chinese exchange programming, wasn't it? But this trial served as a lesson for you too. It was not understood.
Oh. It is as you say, Your Honor. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look! Without my glasses, I can't see, and I don't want to be seen.
Well then, the court has reached its verdict. I pronounce the defendant, Estella Cantabella,
Not guilty.
Yay, not guilty!
Congratulations, you did it, Nick.
Ugh. Yeah, thanks. Guess I should be happy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. The dark boss cold gaze is staring daggers through me.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're better than I thought. Had I known earlier, I would have asked you to prove Isabella innocent from the very start.
I'm glad you're happy about the verdict.
Isabella, come and thank Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Glad I can help.
Hey, Isabella. What's that big book you've got there?
Also, how do you even have it again?
Oh, please forgive her. She's a bit shy, you see. She's very fond of books. At any rate, now Isabella can return to her peaceful life at her boarding school. And that is all thanks to your hard work, Mr. Wright. Now please excuse us, we have some formalities to attend to.
Yes, of course.
Mr. Wright, you were truly outstanding in that courtroom today. Farewell.
Finally over.
Something's still bothering me about this case. The person who hit Olivia. I'm losing my voice here. Not losing my voice, but my voices are. I'm losing my Maya. The person who hit Olivia. Where did they go?
That's true. We don't know who actually assaulted Olivia. If it wasn't Estella, it must have been another person at the crime scene.
But neither Olivia nor Johnny saw anyone else.
The room was dark, save for the emergency light. I'm sure someone hid in the shadows. And Johnny was wearing sunglasses. Macy saw anything at all. He missed all those clues, so it's not much of a stretch to imagine he missed the perpetrator too.
How
about we head back now?
Okay. Let's go check out the out Tower Bridge while we still have some daylight left. And get some burgers.
Oh.
Voice acting!
What is it, Maya?
There, on the couch. Isn't that Espella's book? It is the book she was holding. We should return it to her. Hey, Nick. Let's see what kind of stuff Espella likes to read.
Just quit it, Maya.
Labyrinthia, huh?
What?
Huh?
Huh? Maya, look!
Huh? Hey, Nick, look. That's us, isn't it?
I also love how nobody else in the defendant's lobby said anything or saw anything.
It's number 2 on the what the fuck meter.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
See, credibility equals pig crats in this. So if you don't screw up once, you get full points, which arguably makes the Phoenix Wright portions easier to get the points from.
Yep. Okay. So, this is where we end off the episode for today. We're making pretty good time, actually. Of course, it's because we already knew what we were doing, but I think it actually...
Rob knew what he was doing. Well, I was gone for most of the episode.
Yeah. Not to worry. I played enough Phoenix Wright games to know how to switch between voices super quick, so...
I mean, that's good.
Yep. Anyway, in the next episode... well, let's just say it. We're going to switch back to Professor Layton and Luke to find out what happened to them. That's it for today, though. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.